What's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Carnage, and we got another Madrid hype for you guys right here on the channel. Make sure you guys smash that like button, get in the live chat, let me know what you're thinking about some of the stories that we're going to be talking about. And if you catch me after the live ends, I'll add chapters so you guys can skip around and listen to the parts that you want to hear about the most. But big up to everybody that's in here. And I don't know about you guys, but I have missed Real Madrid football, man. I know that we didn't have a game this past weekend, I should say, because of the flooding that happened in Valencia. So, that kind of sucked. But at the same time, I'm looking at it from a positive POV, right? The boys get extra rest. And we got a big game coming up against AC Milan in the Champions League tomorrow. So I need the players rested because we must see a response for that ass whipping that Barcelona gave us in El Clasico last time we played a game. But what's going on, man? Dem, big up. My guy Adam is in here as always, man. Big up to my G King Hubris. Says big up, and I'm currently in class, bro. You got to pay attention to class, bro. Big up for always being in here, but I'm not gonna be there to help you when that test comes. You got to pay attention, my guy. What's going on, bro? He also says you starting the stream like 1 minute 30 seconds. Gotta do a little countdown. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get the people in here before I start. I don't want to just start the stream. I'm talking and nobody's in here. So, it's always good to have a little countdown at the beginning. But big up, my guy. 2K, my G. Uni exams just slapped me too today. Yo, bro, I remember when I was in college, and you guys are in Europe, so you call it uni. In America, we call it college. When I was in college, bro, oh my goodness me. I hated it. I absolutely hated school. It was an awful experience, okay? And it cost way too much money. So I had to lock in. But when I graduated, bro, that was like top 3 best days of my life because I said, yo, I'm officially done with school. It's lit. But nah, guys, make sure you study, pay attention in class because it's serious stuff, man. You guys are going to be doctors or scientists, whatever the hell you're studying. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't need the doctors failing on their patients because they were watching Football Carnage instead of, learning how to do stitches or something. But big up. Sanjeev says, Madrid ain't signing Haaland. They just signed Mbappe. Yeah, we will talk about that transfer rumor because that is something that has been kind of rumored for a while now, and I've never really talked about the Erling Haaland link, so we'll get into that. Let me see. Did you hear Carlo's latest words? We are going to get into Carlo's press conference in just a few seconds. Let me see. You miss Real Madrid football until they play. Facts. Because I was thinking about it like, yo, I miss Real Madrid. But then I'm like, my mental health is more important. Because we all know that Valencia would have gave us a tough game probably. And I just couldn't go through that this weekend. So the break was nice. But I'm ready for tomorrow, guys. I'm doing good, bro. How are you? I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that everybody's watching is having a blessed day. And then my guy Average says, hi, Carnage. Oh, bro, happy birthday, my guy. Big up. Another year around the sun. Very blessed to see another year, right? Hope that you have a great day, my guy. But, yo, let's just get into it, all right? I don't even want to waste no more time. So, obviously, we have a match tomorrow against AC Milan, right? European heritage will be on display. Real Madrid, 15 Champions Leagues. AC Milan are second with the most because they have 7. So these are 2 elite clubs going against each other. And as they always do, before the game, there's usually a press conference that takes place. So they actually did 2, right? They did one with Carlo. They did one with Lucas Vazquez. We'll look at both of them. But right now, I want to get into Carlo Ancelotti's press conference. So we're not going to read every single question, right? We'll go through this and look at what we actually care about. Because sometimes these reporters be asking some absolute nonsense. But let's scroll down. Let's see. Preparing for a match in these circumstances. What does he mean by that? Like, what are these circumstances? It's very difficult as you don't know your mind or your work at all time. Inevitability. It affects everybody when you hear and read what has happened. It's okay. So I think that they're talking about basically, like, how does it feel to prepare for a match knowing what's going on in Valencia? And, you know, I hope that everybody in Valencia is doing fine. And, you know, I hope that they are able to sort out their city from the flooding. But, like, what does that have to do with Real Madrid in terms of preparing for AC Milan? That's kind of weird. But anyways, it affects everybody. When you hear and read what has happened, it's unbelievable and terrible. We have prepared for this game because we are professionals and we will try to play it and... And we will try to play it and win it. That's what we have to do. You know, I didn't think that the manager had to tell me that we're going to try and play to win this game. I mean, like, that's what I kind of already assumed. Yo, my neighbors have this guy that's trying to clear their leaves with this leaf blower, and he's, like, right outside my window trying to do it. I want to just go over there and slap the shit out of him. Like, does he not know that I'm trying to record Madrid hype? He's, like, right outside my window blowing that leaf blower. This guy must be an Atleti fan. The fuck is wrong with him? Anyways, on the league match, the football world was quite clear. Nobody wanted to play. It seemed like the right decision, but we're not the ones in charge, and we have to respect the decision of those higher ups. Are they going to ask him any questions about the game tomorrow? When did this come out? This was published, today. The fuck? Okay. I don't want to keep talking about Valencia. I'm going to be real. So we're going to kind of scroll down. Okay, on the Ballon d'Or. Because, bro, like... Bruv, they didn't ask him any questions about Dortmund. What the fuck? How do you have a press conference? Not about for Dortmund, fucking for AC Milan. How do you have a press conference? We have a game against AC Milan tomorrow, and they're asking about the flooding in Valencia. These journalists suck. But whatever. Let's look at this question. So on the Ballon d'Or, he says, it's over now. We congratulate all the winners, and that's it. My Ballon d'Or was awarded to me on June 1st when we won the European Cup. It's been a difficult week because the atmosphere is unusual. However, we are not sad because of that. The atmosphere is different because of what's happening in Spain. Okay, they ask him about Vinicius. He says, he's sad like all of us. We understand what's going on. Unfortunately, we've had more time to prepare for this game. And in that sense, he's trained well like everybody else. He's sad, but not because he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Okay? What's your political assessment? Chat, what the hell are these questions? Like, not one question about what he thinks about AC Milan, a club that he also used to manage, by the way. Okay. I actually don't care about these other questions. Like, what's your political assessment? Abiding by external decisions. Yeah, we can move on from the press conference for Carlo's part. They've asked him nothing to do with tomorrow. I did like the Ballon d'Or question and the one on Vinicius, but everything else is kind of not relevant, right? I mean, respectfully. Obviously, what's going on in Valencia at the moment is serious, but, you know, we have a game tomorrow, so I would like to focus on that. But let's go on to Lucas Vazquez, right? Because Vazquez also did a press conference, right? So hopefully they asked the player about the match that he has to play tomorrow. So, yeah, I could just tell by this headline right here that they're going to be asking about Valencia as well. Look, Lucas Vazquez, a lot of people are suffering, and that affects all of us. Of course it does, right? We all have a heart. Come on. But, all right, let's see what they asked Vazquez, who will probably start tomorrow and be our captain for that match. So, yep, look, see? I knew it. I knew it. How difficult is it to prepare for a match in this situation? So he says it's difficult because at this moment, football has to take a back seat. The most important thing is the people. And when these tragedies happen, it's difficult to shut yourself off. The feeling in the dressing room. We're all very sad. It's very tough what happened. There are a lot of people suffering and it affects everyone. Okay, reflections on the events in Valencia. Oh my, yo, big up to Valencia. And I hope that they get the proper aid that they need. But my God, can we talk about AC Milan? Please. We feel very sad about everything that's happened. There has been a difficult time, a turbulent time, a time when our people have suffered, and it's time for all of us to reflect and think about what has happened. Ultimately, we will try to help each other to get through this. I mean, how many times can players say the same thing just in different ways? They're all saying the same thing. All these questions are basically provoking the same kind of responses. Like what do you think Carlo and Vazquez are going to say? Oh, yeah, we don't care about Valencia. Even though we know that their fans are racist. They're not beating the racismo allegations. But, like, what do you expect them to say? Whatever. Assessment of the political handling of the political handling. Is Lucas Vazquez and Carlo Ancelotti running for the mayor of Madrid? Did I miss that? What the hell do I care about Lucas Vazquez and what he thinks on politics? Ask him about what he thinks about Rafael Leao. Oh my God. Do the players have the power to call off a match? Yo, these journalists fucking suck. Oh my God. As the coach said, he's absolutely right. At the moment, our opinion or our strength means nothing, and we have to be professional and try to do what we are told to do. Even if we don't want to do it, that's what we have to do. Oh my God. Football's response to the tragedy. We're not reading that. Does it stop because the wheels have to keep moving? Dumb question. What's your message to the football authorities? Dumb question. Do you feel hurt or embarrassed about what happened in Valencia? So, why would Lucas Vazquez be embarrassed about flooding? Is it his fault that the floods happened? I'm very confused with what he means. Role in the team. Okay, now this is a decent question. Whoever asked that question, give him a raise. Finally, a footballing question. All right, so role in the team. He says Carvajal's injury is very significant for Real Madrid, both on a footballing level and on a personal level. He's a player with tremendous character and charisma. It's up to me to perhaps take a bit more responsibility than I've been doing, to give my best, and most important, to try and help the team as much as I can and to give everything I've got. See, now this is a good question. That's also a good answer, right? Carvajal's injury is a big blow. Carvajal is the best right back in the world when fit. Now I have to watch Lucas Vazquez play a majority of our games, 90 minutes, and this guy is not even a right back. Lucas Vazquez is a right midfielder / right winger that has to play right back because we've neglected that position. So I'm not happy that Lucas Vazquez will be playing a bunch of games, but it is what it is, okay? But that is a good question. I mean, finally. And last thing on the game before we move forward, right? Here is the squad that will be available for the match against AC Milan. So the goalkeepers, Lunin, Fran Gonzalez, Sergio Mestre. So no Courtois, right? Courtois is not able to play tomorrow. He's still dealing with that injury. In defense, we're going to have Militao, Vasquez, Vallejo, Fran Garcia, Rudiger, and Mendy. In midfield, we're going to have Bellingham, Camavinga, Valverde, Modric, Tchouaméni, Arda Güler, and Dani Ceballos. And then in attack, Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo. Rodrigo is available for tomorrow's game. He was a guy that was questionable, right? The reports that I last saw were saying that he's more than likely not going to be fit for this game, and he's going to be looking to return this Saturday, I believe, against Osasuna we're playing. I could be wrong on that, but we do have a game Saturday, and they were saying that that's the match that he'll most likely be back for. Endrick is there, and Brahim Diaz. So pretty good squad that's going to be traveling for this. Well, not traveling because it's at the Bernabeu, but pretty decent squad that will be available for us to select from for the game tomorrow. If you guys have not checked out my Real Madrid versus AC Milan match preview, make sure that you head over to the channel after we're done with this live and check out my match preview. I'm not going to do one here because I just dropped a whole 30-minute video going through everything that matters about the game against AC Milan. So, as I said, check that out. And if you have already checked that out, big up to your damn self. Now, we do have a lot of other things to talk about, right? Like transfer news. We got to talk about how Florentino Perez is not happy with what's going on at Real Madrid. But before we move on, let me get into your chats, right? And make sure you guys smash that like button if you haven't done so already. And subscribe, and make sure that you guys have those post notifications turned on. We will be doing a watch along tomorrow, as always, for Real Madrid versus AC Milan. But what you guys saying, man? Let's see. Rafael Leao versus Vazquez tomorrow. I'm telling you, it'll be a movie. To be honest, I actually think that Lucas Vazquez will do a pretty good job against Leao. Leao is just a spicy Marcus Rashford. That guy is not that good. Very overrated player, to be honest. Like, I don't understand how he gets all this hype. Like, every time I watch him, the guy looks like he's tripping over his own feet whenever he's trying to control the ball. He's literally just a pace and physical merchant. But, like, as a footballer, mid. Not worth the amount of money that it would cost to get him out of AC Milan. But, yeah, man. I actually think Vazquez will do a pretty good job tomorrow because Leao has actually been benched for their last few games. He hasn't even started, I think, their last 3 games. But there were reports saying that he is expected to start tomorrow. Haaland, we do not need, bro. Yo, big up to my guy, Raf fans. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we need Haaland either, but we'll get into that in a little bit because I think it is a little bit more complicated based off the reports that I was seeing. Let me see. Big up to my guy, Unruly. Says, look how thin that squad is. Yeah, I mean, especially in defense. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. Low-key Mbappe shouldn't start this game against AC Milan because he's still offsides. Bro, he was born offsides. Come on, my guy. Big up to Vinny. Says, the problem of Madrid. Let me see. Yo, Stanley, big up, my guy. What's good, bro? What's good? All right. I want to move forward, though, right? And we talked about this on the last Madrid hype, but some new reports have come out since then. So let's get into it in terms of Vinicius, right? So there's been a lot of speculation over the last few days concerning Vinicius and his contract situation, right? And now I'm seeing reports that he is attracting a lot of interest from Europe, such as PSG, Man United, Chelsea, and others. Also, Saudi Arabia want him to play for Al Hilal. And we know that last week there were reports that the club are looking to give Vinicius a new and improved contract, but he's not in a rush to sign a deal at the moment. Now, should the club be worried about Vinicius leaving? I don't think so, right? If teams want to go out there and take Vinicius from us, then they got to pay the €1 billion release clause. It's simple. If you don't want to negotiate with the club, if the club are blocking all the communications, my guy literally has a release clause. If you pay that, then you'll be able to sign him. Now, when I'm looking at the teams that have been named, right? I'm seeing the likes of PSG. I know that PSG are salty because we took Mbappe from them, right? We snatched their chain. We robbed them for free. We took their best player, their generational talent. So, of course, they'd be looking to hit back at Madrid. And the best way to do that would be to maybe make an enticing offer to Vinicius. We know that PSG would probably offer him a lot more money than what we would. But why would Vinicius downgrade? Somebody tell me, why would Vinicius downgrade? Any other club that he goes to, if he leaves us, is an automatic downgrade. And PSG are in a shit league as well. I don't even think I could watch the French league in America. You gotta go through some third-party website, hit the play button about 20 times before a laggy stream starts for one of their games. Like, PSG are not a threat. The way that these guys try and force a rivalry with Real Madrid, you're not that guy, pal. You are a little club. We don't rate you. You have no European heritage. All that money spent and nothing to show for it in Europe. I'm going to be real. Nobody cares that y'all dominate the French league. Because the French league, we don't care about that. Why would Vinicius leave Real Madrid to go kick ball with Barcola, with Ousmane Dembele, with Kolo Muani, Goncalo Ramos? It's not happening. I'm looking at Chelsea. You guys know I rate Chelsea. But why the fuck would he go to Chelsea? Now, I want to make one thing clear. Vinicius walks into every single team in the world. So, of course, they're looking at him. I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to not be looking at a Vinicius if he is available. But here's the thing. He's not available. He's not. I think Chelsea have a decent squad. But Chelsea, at the moment, they're more up and coming. Manchester United are in the mix. They're a very rich club. United have a lot of money. And to be honest, if United weren't so shit these past 14 years since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they would be a threat. Because I don't think people realize how massive Manchester United are. But they're shit. They're not good. What? You telling me that Vinicius wants to go line up with Garnacho and Rashford? With Asmus Højlund? With Bruno Fernandes? Get the fuck out of here, man. The only club that I am actually a bit worried about is Al Hilal, Saudi. Because we know the money that they're offering. When the reports came through last summer that Saudi Arabia's representatives have been in contact with Vinicius, the reports were saying that they offered Vinny $350 million per season. And for context, chat, Vinicius is only on $20 million at Real Madrid. So he could possibly go from $20 million per season to $350 million per season. Now, if Vinicius was to go and sign for Al Hilal, do I blame him? No. That kind of money is ridiculous. $350 million a year, untaxed. We cannot compete with that kind of offer. Now, I'm hoping that he turns that money down. But I'm telling you, if I was Vinicius, I don't think I'm turning down that kind of money. He would make more money in 1 year playing in Saudi than he's made in his whole career so far. By the end of his deal with Saudi, he would have made over €1 billion for like 4 years. In 4 years, Vinicius would have made $1 billion. You know how crazy that is. So that does worry me. But again, Vinicius, he does have a few years left on his contract, right? It's not close to being ran out. But as I said, if Saudi Arabia want to sign Vinicius, he has a €1 billion release clause. Pay that. But as far as I'm concerned, I better not see the club enter negotiations. Saudi could come with any kind of bid, reject all of them. If you want Vinicius, who is arguably the best player in the world, pay that release clause. But the Saudi interest does worry me because that kind of money, it's like, how do you say no to that? And Al Hilal are a huge club in Asia. People always tell me that Al Hilal are the Real Madrid of that continent. They win everything. They got Neymar there, Malcolm, João Cancelo, Koulibaly, right? They got Renan Lodi. They got Bunu in goal. They got Milinkovic-Savic, Ruben Neves. Like, Al Hilal, if you put them in the Europa League, I think they make the semifinals. They're a really good team. But nah, I don't think Vinicius is going anywhere. I hope that all these rumors are false. I hope that Saudi Arabia really do not want him because I don't want Vinicius to leave. Like, there's no replacement for him in the world right now that would give us that impact. I think he's invaluable. He's invaluable. And I believe the reason why Vinicius is not in a rush to sign his new contract is like I told you guys last week. It's all about leverage, right? When you're negotiating, when your agent is talking to the club, right? The player, because the agent works for the player. The player gives the agent his demands. Now the agent has to go with the club and try and get the best offer for his client, right? It's all about timing. Right now, Vinicius does not need to sign a new deal. If I was him, I wouldn't sign a new deal right now either. I would wait until the summer. I would wait until the reports come back that Saudi have just offered me a big deal, that Chelsea have been in contact, that PSG have reached out. And then when the club feels a little bit more pressure, they'll come back with a better offer than probably what they're offering at the moment. But as I said, man, hopefully Vinicius does not leave because, boy. But yeah, I'm not worried about any other European team, to be honest. What you guys saying, man? Mbappe, pace merchant, and league unmerchant. That's all right, bro. Mbappe will come good for Real Madrid. Haaland Madrid. Big up, bro. Big up. Haaland Madrid. Let's be honest. Carlo has been shit with Jude's positioning. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, my guy. Vinny will stay, says my guy Diamond Head. I agree. I think that Vinicius will ultimately end up being at Real Madrid for the next at least 6 years. I don't see him going anywhere while he's in his 20s. Madrid should low-key change the whole staff room, cut the wages, because Madrid have not played good football since the Mourinho days and Zidane too much individual quality. I don't know if I agree with what you're saying right there, my guy. Hubris says, nope, you're talking to somebody else. Lamine, Mbappe. I think on current form, yeah. But Lamine Yamal has not had anywhere near the career that Mbappe's had so far. So let's just relax a little bit, right? I remember when you Barca fans were sucking off Ansu Fati. Last season, I was seeing Ansu Fati hold bench at Brighton, okay? So let's just wait and see how it plays out. Dang, you guys are really going in on Mbappe in the chat, man. Yeah, Mbappe don't really got that many fans here, boy. All good. All good. So, yeah, man, let me know what you guys are thinking about the Vinicius news. A lot of clubs are looking at him. I don't blame them. But can't happen. That's all I'm saying. It just cannot happen. Now, with the Vinicius news swirling and circulating, right, we all know that these media outlets just want their clicks. Let's talk about a hypothetical situation. If Vinicius does leave, because that leads us into our next topic, And that's Erling Haaland, right? They're saying that Florentino Perez wants to sign Erling Haaland from Man City to replace either Vinicius or Rodrigo. Now, Vinny and Rodrigo have both been getting linked with moves away from the club for a while now, right? Vinicius, we just talked about it with the Saudi interest, right? PSG are trying to maybe poach him from us. Rodrigo, we saw all the rumors last summer about Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, right? They were linking him to every single club in Europe because they thought he would want to leave with Mbappe coming in. So now we have a counter story to that. Now, Erling Haaland, what do you guys think about him, right? Get in the comment section and let me know what you think about Erling Haaland as a player. Because I don't rate Haaland as highly as I think a lot of other people do. I think Haaland is the best finisher in the world. I think if you put him in a 1v1 situation 10 times, he scores on all 10 attempts. He is an excellent finisher. He has excellent off-the-ball movement. But as an overall footballer, Haaland is so mid. Everything aside from finishing and off-the-ball movement is non-existent. I've been telling people this for years. When he's playing for Man City, if this guy is not scoring a 2-yard tap-in from great service, he might as well not be on the pitch because he's ineffective. He doesn't track back. He doesn't link play. He's just a distraction up front. And because he's so limited with his skill set, you literally have to tailor your entire system to fit him, to get him going. Why do you think Man City don't look as good as they did before Haaland joined? City used to play a lot better. But now that they have Haaland up front, they have to force crosses into the box. They have to try and force him the ball. Because if he's not getting the ball, he's not doing anything. Now, if, let's say hypothetically, Vinicius leaves. Let's say he goes to Saudi, right? Now, we go bring in Erling Haaland. I think it can work technically because now, if Vinicius is no longer there, you can move Mbappe back to the left wing, Haaland down the middle, and then Rodrigo can just maintain his stuff on the right. But do I think Erling Haaland is a player that we should be targeting? No, not currently. Not with the squad that we have constructed. I don't believe that Haaland would make that big of a difference. And again, I feel like he doesn't give you anything else aside from what he offers in the box. And to be fair to him, when you're a striker, all that you need to do is finish, really. And if you're going to be bagging 40 goals a season, then fair enough if your overall game isn't that good. But they're saying $200 million to sign this guy. I just rather not. I'd rather not. Like, people that try and tell me that Haaland is a better player than Mbappe, you're out of your mind, bro. Yes, Mbappe is struggling at the moment. But as a footballer, Erling Haaland is nowhere near the level of an Mbappe. I've never seen Haaland pick up the ball from the halfway line, carry it, and then score. I've never seen Haaland drop deep, link play, create chances for his teammates. Unless I just haven't been watching enough. Somebody let me know. But I think Haaland is massively overrated. He literally needs his teammates to be effective, for him to be effective. Kevin De Bruyne has been out for Man City for how long now? Haaland is struggling. This guy is ineffective. He's not scoring goals at the moment. Why? Because he's not getting enough chances. I know that Mbappe at the moment is not playing the best, but even if we don't create any chances for Mbappe, we all know that he has the ability to pick up the ball and create something for himself. Haaland does not have that. He needs to be in a system that has passers, that has creators. At Real Madrid, I would say at the moment, we don't really have creators. Our midfield struggles to create chances. If we had Toni Kroos here, then maybe a Haaland, I think, could be effective because Kroos will be able to find him. But if you're looking for Vinicius to just stay out wide and spam crosses into the box, you're out of your mind. Vinicius likes to cut inside, he inverts, and shoots. Rodrigo, he's more of a creator. We do have Arda Güler, we got Brahim Diaz, but those guys hold bench. Carlo don't play them like that. I think Haaland at Man City is honestly perfect for him. You got Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Savio, Gundo. You got all these players who will feed him as many times as he needs. And I just don't think 200 million is what we need in terms of striker up front. I think our attack is fine. I need a deep line playmaker in that midfield. I need center back help. I need a right back. I need a left back. I don't need Erling Haaland up front. If anything, I think the Spanish club that should be trying to sign Haaland is Barcelona. Lewandowski's not getting any younger. But the thing is, do Barcelona have 200 million to spend? I don't think so. So, would I take Haaland at Real Madrid currently? No. No, I would not. But a player of his profile would be very helpful because we saw last season, right, with Joselu, right, big, tall striker, good airily, gives you something different off the bench. That was important. And I remember when Joselu went to, was it Saudi? Or it was some team in the Middle East. I brought up how we're going to miss him because now teams don't have anything different to think about with our subs. If Mbappe is struggling up front and you sub on Endrick, they're both very short. Mbappe's like 5'10", Endrick's like 5'6". They're not offering you anything different, right? So a player of Haaland's profile in terms of his height and his strength, yeah, that'd be lovely. I would love to have a tall striker that I could bring on. And if we're struggling to break a team down on the ground, now we can try crosses, right? Because crossing the ball in this current Madrid team is pointless. It's literally pointless. Have we scored from a header this season that's not been from a corner when Rudiger's been up top? So I think, look, Haaland, as a finisher, the best. As a striker, very efficient. As a footballer, mid footballer. I don't think that he's worth the amount of money that it would cost to sign him. But that's just me, right? Let me know what you guys are saying about that. Big up to Mr. Nobody. What's going on, my guy? Let's see. It's so hard to remember where I left off with the chats. One second, guys. Oh, my goodness me. All right. Apparently, Haaland's new contract is going to include a release clause, probably around 120 million. I can't see Man City doing that. I just cannot see them doing that. Why would Man City include that kind of release clause in his deal? Like, how does that benefit them? If Haaland's going to leave, surely you got to get more than 120 million, right? But the thing is, though, aside from like us, like where else would he want to go? I mean, he has everything that he needs at Man City. If Vinny leaves Madrid, he'll become the most hated player in the world. Already, a lot of people hate him. Imagine if he leaves us, the hate will double. Yeah, but that's because a lot of football fans are stupid. Anybody that would be mad at a player for taking 350 million a year is a kid, right? If you're an adult, if you have to pay bills, if you have to go to work every day, then you know, no sane adult would be turning down that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I view it. So my guy Thomas says, I don't rate Haaland. I don't think he's a good footballer, but what he's good at, he's amazing. I agree. Like, this literally sums him up perfectly. Excellent comment, my guy. Big up. Let's see. So Prince Vegeta. Big up to Prince Vegeta. Maybe Vegeta is like my third or fourth favorite character from Dragon Ball Z. But big up to the Prince of all Saiyans. He says, why use Mbappe on the left wing when Vinny is better? Move Mbappe to the right and put... No. So look, the report is saying if Vinicius leaves. Right? So if Vinny leaves, I'm talking about. That's all, bro. Hey, big up to Ejavi with the super chat. W Mans. He says, Haaland is a spot-up jump shooter. Limited his... Bro, Haaland is basically Klay Thompson. If he's not hitting the corner three, he might as well not be doing nothing else. Now, yo, big up for the super chat, my guy. I appreciate that, bro. Let me see. We need a natural number 9 option off the bench. Agreed. Maybe we could see if Joselu wants to come back in January. Yeah, bro. You might forget that Endrick plays for Real Madrid because Carlo just does not rate my guy to give him enough time. To give him any kind of time, actually, except for those little hospital pity minutes that he ends up giving him at the end of games. But, yeah, man, it's actually pissing me off. Yeah, Haaland is a tap-in merchant. My guy D-Money, bro. Big up. Let's see. Pop Perez should please focus more on strengthening the back line. Our defense is in shambles right now. Facts. And another story that we're actually about to get into. And, yo, no problem, my guy. It's all good, bro. I was just letting you know that it was for if Vinicius leaves. I think Vinny is the most important player at Real Madrid. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But all good, my guy. Now, yo, I do want to... So we got a few more stories that we got to run through, right? And this guy that we're about to get into next, bro, I mean, like, I've talked about him a few times, and the rumors just keep coming back, and I'm just not really feeling it. But, let's just do it, man. Florian Wirtz is being linked with a move to Real Madrid, right? This guy's been getting linked with the move to Madrid for at least, I'd say, 3-4 months now. And I've really been trying to avoid these rumors because I don't believe a player like Florian Wirtz is needed at Real Madrid. Arda Güler is barely getting any minutes. You got Jude Bellingham, who cooked in that 10 role last year, playing as a right back basically this season. And we have no defensive help. We are missing a deep line playmaker. We need a right back. We need a left back. And what the club are going to do is try to sign Florian Wirtz next summer for 150 million euros. Am I getting that correct? We do not need a player of his profile at the moment. Florian Wirtz is a good player. But is Florian Wirtz worth 150 million? No. Does Florian Wirtz make us better? I don't think he does by that much. I have Arda Güler. Why do I need Wirtz? If you're Arda Güler, you're struggling already to get game time. If the club bring in Florian Wirtz, you need to request either a transfer or a loan because that would be ridiculous. We do not need an attacking midfielder. We need a Toni Kroos replacement. And Florian Wirtz is not a Toni Kroos replacement. Toni Kroos is a deep line playmaker. He does not advance. He sits deep and he playmakes from there. Florian Wirtz is a winger /10. So what? You would buy him and then what? You would ask him to sit deep? Because if that's the case, then why are you wasting money on him? Because you're not going to get the best out of him. I've said it for time. If Real Madrid are so desperate to get an attacking midfielder, then go get me Jamal Musiala. Go get me the best young attacking midfielder. If he doesn't sign a new deal by next summer, he'll only have 12 months left. Come next summer, Jamal Musiala may only have a year left on his deal. If you want to go bring in an attacking midfielder, then go get him. Let Bayern Munich sign Florian Wirtz, or let him go to Man City. right? The reports are saying that Real Madrid are now serious about pursuing Wirtz, with Man City informed that Real Madrid are pushing for the 21-year-old. Bayer Leverkusen would prefer to sell to Real Madrid over Bayern Munich. And I understand that, right? From Leverkusen's POV, why the hell would you want to sell arguably your most talented player to Bayern? Even though we know in the Bundesliga, all these clubs sell their best players to Bayern, right? That's why I don't rate the German league, because Bayern dominated every single year. Up until last year, Bayern won the last decade worth of titles. It's literally a feeder league for Bayern. And to be honest, if I had to put money on it, I would say he does end up at Bayern Munich, because they usually get what they want. They usually bully the smaller clubs. Now, if it's true that Leverkusen do not want to sell to Bayern, I completely agree with that. I would rather sell him out the league as well if I was them, right? Leverkusen, last season, they played party spoilers. They came in, they won the league, invincible, by the way, and they also won one of the cups. They did an invincible double. Very impressive. So if I was them, I'd be saying fuck Bayern. But sell him to Man City, please. We don't need him at Real Madrid. Man City are going to more than likely not have Kevin De Bruyne after this season. Kevin De Bruyne might be on his way to Saudi. He's cooked. This guy can't stay fit. His legs are gone. You have to get rid, and you have to start thinking of replacements. Now, we know that Phil Foden is at Man City, but Foden's been struggling at the moment. He's not looked like the player that we saw last season. So, yeah, I think Man City, they should be looking at a Florian Wirtz. He fits the profile. Young, a lot of potential, can replace Kevin De Bruyne. But as far as Madrid are concerned, why would you go out there and spend that much money on this guy next summer? We have so many other weaknesses in the team. The attacking area is not one that we should be putting any resources to next summer. We have to focus on defense. We have to focus on a deep line playmaker in midfield. Enzo Fernandez makes more sense than a Florian Wirtz. Now, I get it. Xabi Alonso is being linked with the Real Madrid job. So, ultimately, if Xabi Alonso does come into the club, he is going to probably want to bring a few of the players that he had at Leverkusen to Madrid. But even with that being said, there's other players at Leverkusen right now that I would rather have over Florian Wirtz that I think would help us more. Go get me Piero Hincapié, the center back / left back, the Ecuadorian. He's a very good player. He has a high potential. Go get him, right? What about in midfield? They got players there that we could use. Jeremy Frimpong could potentially be a right back that we could go sign. But Florian Wirtz, 150 million. I'm telling you, this is strictly down to the fact that Xabi Alonso may come in as our next manager. And I don't even really want Xabi Alonso like that. We already talked about that. I dropped a whole video on it, right? After the live, go check out that video on why I don't necessarily want Xabi at the moment. But if you go sign Florian Wirtz, where is everybody else going to play? Tell me. Where does Jude go? Where does Fede Valverde go? Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz. Do you switch up the entire formation? Now, again, this is not me saying that Wirtz is shit. I think he is a good player. I just don't think that we need him. This would be a bad signing, in my opinion. This would be poor planning, squad building from our board. This would be the board just wanting to buy a new shiny toy in attack, not one that's actually going to make us better. So for me, I'm good off of Florian Wirtz. And if I was him, go to Man City or go to Bayern. I think he ends up at Bayern Munich. I think ultimately Bayern are going to pair him with Jamal Musiala. We saw them cook together for Germany, right? They do it with the national team. They could do it at a club level. These guys fit together. And I think that's what's going to happen ultimately. But, yeah, man, just not for me, man. Nah, bro. Like, Wirtz, not that guy. Decent player, but nah. So Stanley says, Wirtz is a liability. He cannot track back. His off-the-ball play is shit. I mean, look, I don't watch Wirtz like that to even analyze his game that much. Like, but from what I have seen, right, I think he is good on the ball. I've never really thought about how he is off the ball. So, you know, that's actually one to consider. Next time we do a Leverkusen watch-along, I'll pay more attention to that. Rice would be perfect. What? Declan Rice? Huh?
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Declan Rice. I was born that night, but I wasn't born last night, my guy. Declan Rice don't even have the passing range to be a deep-lying playmaker. I wouldn't want Frimpong at all. He can't defend to save his life. Fair enough. He is more of a right winger. Let's see. Wirtz will eventually join Bayern Munich. Yeah, I think so as well. Hubert says, Rice is in no way anywhere near Tony Kroos. Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Let me... Rice. Yo, that is crazy. Yeah, nah, that's nasty work, bro. You can't gaslight me. Absolutely not. It's all good, bro. You know what? I'd rather sign no midfielder than go sign Declan Rice, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's get into a few other transfer stories, right? Now, you know, obviously, we talked a little bit earlier about how we need help at right back, right? We know that Danny Carvajal, his days of being Real Madrid's #1 right back week in, week out are over, right? Because of the major injury that he just suffered. So we do have to get a replacement, whether that's in January or the summer. Now, we've talked about Trent a lot on this channel. And you guys know I rate Trent very highly. And the reports that are coming out now are indicating that maybe a deal in January is feasible. So they're saying that Liverpool are prepared to sell Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid in January, but only for a minimum of 50 million. Now, this is where they lose me. There is no way in hell Liverpool can expect to get 50 million for a player that may only have 6 months left on their contract. I don't know what kind of weed they're smoking at Anfield, but they got to realize that's not how this works. See, Trent was worth 50 million last summer when he had 12 months. Now you're going to let half the season go down and we could sign him on a free and you want 50 million? Now, I do want us to go out there and sign Trent in January. It's going to be a very hard deal, especially with how Liverpool are playing at the moment. Liverpool are flying. Them boys are cooking. You got Liverpool out there sitting top of the Premier League right now. Arne Slot's come in. He's done a good job. Trent, I think, has massively improved. When we were first getting linked to Trent, I was a bit hesitant because of the defensive side of the game, right? We all know how good Trent is going forward. We all know how good he is on the ball, crossing, set pieces, right? Free kicks are deadly. But I think right now, as we are speaking, Trent Alexander-Arnold is the best right back in the world because this guy is now a solid defender as well. Wingers are not just blowing by him anymore. Wingers are not taking advantage of him getting up the pitch. Arne Slot has really improved him. And I think if we come down to January and this guy has not signed a new deal, Liverpool are going to be faced with a pretty tough situation because now it's a question of, do you want to lose Trent now and get some money, or do you want to lose Trent at the end of the season and get no money? And I think the fact that Liverpool have allowed this player to run down his contract is an absolute joke. I don't know who's in charge of the contracts at Liverpool and making sure that players sign new deals, but the fact that this guy right here only has this amount of time left is criminal. I think Liverpool should have forced him out last summer. Him, Salah, Van Dijk, these guys may all walk for nothing. 3 of their best players. And I know that Liverpool, they're sitting top of the table right now. So some people might say, oh, you're crazy. Look at how well they're playing. But let's be real. Do you honestly believe that Liverpool are going to win the Premier League? I don't. I think they'll come top 4. But I just think it's, from their board, a really awful look to let this guy leave for nothing. Now, there is a possibility that Trent does sign a new contract, right? There's always that option on the table, right? He's come through Liverpool's academy. He's only played for them. And to be honest, I think Trent is a legend at that club. But he's not worth $50 million in January. At most, if I'm Real Madrid, I'd be willing to maybe give them 25 or 20 million. Because when a player has that little time left, you no longer have any bargaining power. And I think Trent wants to leave. I know that Liverpool have been offering him new contracts over the past few years. I don't care what any report tells me. Oh, Liverpool haven't entered contract talks. That's bullshit. No club in the world wants their star player to only have 7 months left on their deal. What club runs like that? So usually people don't even want you to have 2 years left on your contract. So I know for sure Liverpool have been trying to offer him new deals and he's rejected it. And I think he wants to come to Real Madrid. And I don't blame him. Why would you want to stay at Liverpool? A club with no ambition. FSG brought in Arne Slot. He's been doing a good job so far. But they did not back him. Imagine bringing in a brand new manager to try and take over from Jurgen Klopp, and the only signing that you make for him is Chiesa. That tells you everything that you need to know about Liverpool. And I've already seen reports that Arne Slot has said, oh yeah, the kid from their academy, Bradley, would be good to fill in for Trent. Go look it up. So they're about to possibly lose, arguably, one of their greatest players that have come through their team, and they're going to replace him with another academy player. Liverpool do not have ambition. I think they're doing well at the moment, but after this season, I think Liverpool are in for dark times. I don't trust their board. They're not going to spend the money that's required for them to maintain success. I think what Jurgen Klopp did was a miracle. The fact that this guy was able to win Premier League, the Champions League, Club World Cup, all these trophies, despite not being backed properly, is a miracle. Trent came out the other day and said he wants to win the Ballon d'Or. That's a goal of his. He's not going to do that at Liverpool. He's looking at Carvajal being in the Ballon d'Or finalists conversation. And he's thinking, yo, if I go to Liverpool, if I go to Real Madrid, and if I'm getting the same kind of GA, if I'm scoring those free kicks, getting those assists, and also defending really well at a high level on the biggest stage, I could win the Ballon d'Or. I could win the Champions League. I can do all these different things. Could anybody blame him if he ends up leaving? I want Trent in January. I don't want to wait until the end of the season. Real Madrid need to be active in that January transfer window because our squad is very thin. And with the form that we're on at the moment, it's just not been good enough. And what we do in January is going to tell me a lot about what I should be expecting the second half of the season. I think Trent would cook in La Liga, and I think he wants this move. After the Euros, he was on vacation with the Real Madrid players in America. He was signing Real Madrid kits. Why would you pick Liverpool over Madrid? What else is there for him to do there? He's won everything. He's come through their academy. I don't think anybody could really blame him, but there will be some fans that will be sad about it. But let's see, because he can tell you that he loves the club and that he wants to stay, but chat, actions speak louder than words. Until he puts pen to paper, I think January should be the time that we can look to get him. But it's going to be a very hard deal to get done because we just know the January window, teams don't generally want to sell in the middle of their season. But what you guys saying, man? Yo, Krishaw, Liverpool have no ambition. Liverpool have no ambition. I'll say it again. Liverpool have no ambition. How do you bring in a brand new manager and you don't back him? When you bring in a new manager, that first summer, you always go out there and spend money. These guys only brought in Chiesa, a Juve reject. What are we talking about? These guys, when Klopp was there, why do you think towards the end of Klopp's tenure, things were starting to fall apart? Because the system that Klopp runs wears the players down after a while. And they were running with the same players for a majority of the 8 years that he was there. Liverpool are a sell-to-buy club. The only time that they have shown ambition is last summer when they tried to go get Caicedo at the last minute, when they bid a Premier League record. But that's a one-off. How often do Liverpool do that? FSG do not care about Liverpool. They really don't. So, for anybody that tells me that Liverpool has ambition, you are crazy. At the moment, they're playing well. But that's because the manager is doing a good job. It's not because their board has made this fantastic. And look, the reason why those players are world-class is because of Klopp. Mo Salah was a nobody, was decent at Roma, flopped at Chelsea. Sadio Mane from Southampton, he made him world-class. Roberto Firmino from Hoffenheim, Klopp made him world-class. Andy Robertson was from Hull City. Klopp made him world-class. Trent from the academy, Klopp made him world-class. The only two players that you could say that were at a very high level, Alisson, when they bought him, was very highly rated. And Van Dijk, even though, where is he at? Southampton? Where was Van Dijk at when they bought him for that record fee? Point is, Klopp is the reason for these players kicking on. Those were some unambitious signings. Do not forget where Liverpool were before Klopp came in and brought them back to relevancy. They were sitting there 5th, 6th, 7th, and that's where they're going to be after Trent, after Salah, and after Van Dijk leaves. Liverpool are cooked. Do you trust them to go out there next summer and spend the money that's required? I don't. But it is what it is. I don't think Real Madrid is the right club for him. Why not, bro? Let me know. No one can be better than Tony. We just need someone like him, like Enzo. Yeah, bro. Like, there's no player in world football right now that's of the level of a Tony Cruz. But there are players that are out there of a similar profile, i.e., Enzo Fernandez, right? That's why I always bring him up. Let me see. Liverpool is a profit club. Facts. Sell to buy. Bro, Liverpool don't... Oh, my goodness me. Liverpool have a good squad. Yes. But are they going to win it? If Liverpool's owners backed Slot in the summer, maybe they'd be more ahead. If Liverpool backed Klopp and gave him more money, maybe they would have won more than just one Premier League in 30 years. What are you talking about? I don't give a fuck about the top 4, bro. Are you serious? Are you talking to me about the top 4 race? If they don't win it, I don't care. They have one Premier League in 30 years. What kind of ambition is that? Yo, I could cook Liverpool all day. I can literally cook that club all day. But look, man, it is what it is. I know that people won't necessarily agree with my take there, but it's all good. It is all good. Now, last couple of things, right? We'll probably be live for another like 8 minutes, and then I'm going to end it there, okay? So big up to everybody that's in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you have not done so already. But let's talk about Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo has really been pissing me off this season, right? And you guys all know I am Carlo out. I don't want him sacked right now because I don't believe there's anybody that we can get at this moment that can come in and manage this squad. But when I say Carlo out, I'm talking about it from a POV of he needs to not be our manager after this season ends. Now, I don't believe the club should sack him, right? I think Carlo is a legend. He's won a shit ton of trophies. I've been very happy with him for a majority of his time as Real Madrid's manager. But I think the football has left him, okay? His tactics are outdated. His decision-making is awful. A bunch of different things makes me want Carlo to be gone at the end of this season. Now, I think the club will give him a different role. I think Carlo will end up being like a director or being like an ambassador for the club, something like that. And he deserves that. But this season, I've not been happy with Carlo Ancelotti at all. We look awful, and I think it is inexcusable. Some of the substitutions that he makes baffles me. And look at this report right here. It says, Carlo Ancelotti's problem is the hierarchy. Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, and Valverde are untouchable. This leaves 2 spots open in midfield and attack to rotate. And this really pisses me the fuck off. Like, this grinds my gears. I swear this guy came out and said that there's no untouchables at Real Madrid. That everybody can be dropped. Anybody can be dropped. I promise you he told us this. And I'm not stupid. Obviously, at every single club, there's going to be a hierarchy with the players. The best players get more privileges. That's just how, in any walk of life, that's just how it is. If you're at work, the best workers usually get the most privilege, right? So, am I surprised? No. But what's pissing me off is the names. Mbappe is untouchable? Are you a pussy? Mbappe's been shit. Mbappe is a free signing. And I want a refund for him. He has been a disaster so far. He's only looked good in 1 game this season against Alaves. What has this guy done to be considered untouchable? This is the reason why against Barcelona, despite Mbappe being offsides, 9 times in that game, he played 92 minutes. It's all making sense now. And I'm very disappointed in Carlo because he's one of those managers that I always thought it doesn't matter who the player is. If he's not putting a good shift, he's dropped. So I'm very shocked at how Carlo has handled our squad this season. What the fuck has Mbappe done to be undroppable? This guy was offsides, a La Liga record against Barcelona, the amount of times that whistle was blown. He's just come to the club. If anything, Mbappe needs to be on the bottom of the totem pole. He's done nothing in a Real Madrid shirt to earn any kind of privileges. If, in my opinion, he's underneath Vinny, Rodrigo. Like, what? There should be no such thing as untouchables. If you're playing shit at Real Madrid, you should be holding bench. If Vinicius is out there dropping stinker after stinker after stinker after stinker after stinker after stinker, he should be dropped. If Rodrigo is stinking it up game after game, awful form, drop his ass. Same thing with Jude. Same thing with Valverde. Same thing with any player. There should be no such thing as untouchables. Every player should be feeling the pressure to perform week in, week out. It's actually kind of annoying me that this report has come out. Because what do you mean there's only 2 spots left open to rotate? We've been shit this entire season. We've been getting cooked for a majority of this season, bro. What do you mean there's only 2 spots open to rotate? Man the fuck up. What are you, scared of the players? Your job is on the line, but you want to make them happy. I'm very disappointed in Carlo. And this is the problem that we're going to have no matter who the manager is. Because you have this team full of big-name players, and they all have egos, and people are scared to drop them. 1 second, chat. But yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. It's crazy. I think Carlo has lost it, but I think this is going to be an issue no matter who the manager comes in. Again, there's nothing wrong with a hierarchy. If a player deserves and has proved himself year in, year out, yes, they should be treated a little bit different. Like, they should still be held to the same standard, but they have a little bit more grace. Like, the star athletes always have more grace. But with how shit we've been playing this season, you got to be rotating. You have to. But, man, absolutely brutal, chat. Let me see. What are you guys saying? Not going to fly. I feel like they're going to run it back with Zidane if the board don't want to risk it with Xabi. I actually don't think that Zidane will come back. I think the only way that Zidane gets back into management is if it's with France. Ancelotti is a vibes coach. Madrid talent and intervention from the devil win you games, not Carlo. My guy said that Satan himself intervenes. Sometimes it feels like that because we just get away with it. I know there was a report talking about Arsenal practice the dark arts. I'm like, yo, how have Madrid not been named there? Because we definitely indulge in the dark arts for sure. Carlo is a coward. He just can't make those harsh decisions. I missed the... Oh, yeah. Yo, Jose Mourinho? You fucking kidding me? If Jose Mourinho was the manager of Real Madrid right now, Mbappe would be washing the floors in the locker room with how shit he's been. Nah, that's funny. That's funny. You all literally parked the bus for 120 minutes. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You just have to play your way. It's all good. Like, Man City to go to the Etihad and try and outplay them is kind of crazy. So, you know, we set up differently. That's what managers do. Each game should require a different game plan. That's not a problem. We ended up winning. That's all that I cared about. So I hear what you're saying, but it's not that deep in terms of that from a tactical point of view. We never won at the Etihad either. So I think it would have been very naive of Carlo to go there and try to attack them and play a high line because they would have cooked us. And I wasn't trying to see a repeat of the 4-0. So all good. Carlo buying phase who he makes lineup and subs. That's why the whole fan base is pissed with him. He don't rate youngsters too. Yeah, we're going to actually talk about that last before we get on up out of here. Big up to Arsh says Rodrigo to Man City, Haaland to Madrid, Vinny left wing, Haaland striker, and Mbappe right wing. Perfect, as Mbappe will be able to showcase his creativity on the wing. I think that can work if that was to happen. Let me see. Mourinho benched Pepe for a 19-year-old Varane. He didn't care. He wanted his team to play good. Facts. And that's all that it should be about, bro, to be honest. But, politics, right? And again, every single club has this. Like, this is just not exclusive to Real Madrid, right? Every club has a hierarchy. I just don't like the undroppable talk. Like, what do you mean untouched? Like, every player should be able to get dropped. Like, and chat, give me 1 second, guys. Just 1 second, 1 second. I'm going to be right back. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'm back. Just had to go grab something real quick. But let's get into the last story of the day, and then we'll end it because I gotta run, guys. But we gotta talk about this last thing, super important. So, Florentino Perez, he's not happy with what's going on. Right? Some reports are saying that he's furious with the form that Real Madrid have been on, and he is starting to question some of Carlo's decisions, just like how we are. And I'm glad that Florentino Perez is starting to take notice because I believe he is partially responsible for why we have been so shit. Now, he says Perez is getting impatient with Bellingham's new role and the lack of minutes for Arda Güler and Endrick. He's convinced this is the best squad in Real Madrid's history and wants to see immediate improvement. I'm also annoyed with Jude Bellingham's role this season. Against Barcelona, his average positioning was deeper than Vasquez. Are you kidding me? This guy last season was bagging goals, was cooking in that midfield, and now we basically have been using him as defensive cover. Arda Güler and Endrick, why are they not playing? I've been trying to tell you guys, Carlo does not rate Arda Güler. Last season, when Arda was fit and came back in the second half of that season, he barely played. And when he did start to play, it was because the league was already wrapped up. And I'm very surprised at the lack of minutes that Arda Güler has had. Because in preseason, Arda Güler cooked. In the Euros, he cooked for Turkey, was carrying them on his back. I was like, this is the year that Arda's going to kick on at Real Madrid. And this guy has barely played. Brahim Diaz was injured for 5 weeks. And I thought, okay, well, surely with Brahim Diaz being out injured, Arda will get more minutes. He's not. It's fucking ridiculous. Endrick, highly rated player coming over from Brazil. We signed him from Palmeiras. I didn't expect him to play that much. I didn't. I thought Endrick would get, around the minutes that he's getting now. But I also didn't think Mbappe would be this shit up front because this guy cannot finish his chances to save his life. Why is Endrick not getting more minutes? Explain that to me. What can Endrick do any worse than what Mbappe's been doing? And this is why I get on to Carlo and say that he's been a pussy this season. And I'm glad that Florentino Perez is starting to question some of these choices. Arda Güler deserves more minutes. He's arguably our best attacking midfielder that can also play on that right wing to add balance. He's a creative monster, great from set pieces. He also has a good shot on him as well. We've been struggling in midfield. We've been struggling with our creativity. Why the hell is Arda Güler not getting more minutes? That's arguably my biggest issue this season. Now, where I blame Florentino Perez is the second part that we read. He is convinced that this is the best Madrid squad in history and wants immediate. See, this is where you fucked up because this is nowhere near the best squad in Madrid's history. Absolutely not. This squad is even better than the 2014-2015 squad. And that squad, aside from the Super Cup and the Club World Cup didn't win any trophies. But that squad had way more balance. How could this be the best squad in our history and we have no center back cover? We have no right back cover. No deep line playmaker. This squad is imbalanced. And as I said before, Carlo Ancelotti is the scapegoat. Carlo will be the guy that gets criticized the most. But the board have failed him. The board have failed us. Last summer, the window that we had was disastrous. Only signing Mbappe is criminal. Nacho went to Saudi. David Alaba has no timetable for a return. And you don't sign a center back? Toni Kroos retires. And you don't go and try and get a player that fits that same profile? How long have we needed a backup right back for Carvajal? Now he's injured for the rest of the season. We are a Rudiger or Militao injury away from either having to start Tchouaméni or Jesus Vallejo at center back. How could this be the best squad in our history? How? What is this guy waffling about? The board have failed us last summer. So I'm glad that they're taking note, but it's annoying me that there's not going to be any pressure on Florentino Perez because they'll just sack Carlo. Everybody's focused on the manager, so they'll replace him. But if they don't go out there and spend money that's required, we're going to be in a similar situation. So, yeah, I agree. Carlo's not managed this squad the best. But I also don't think that Florentino Perez and the board have given him all the tools necessary. But it is what it is, man. Let me see. Bro, is Aymeric Laporte to Madrid possible? Yeah, if he terminates his contract with Al Nassr. But I doubt that the club will pay for him. No, he'd have to be a free signing. So he has to terminate his deal with them, which is going to probably be hard to do. Let's see. Carlo needs to be investigated. I don't rate Endrick, to be honest. I don't think he's that good, for real. Carlo doesn't come place and playing. No, I mean, it's true. Carlo does not really care about playing kids. He doesn't trust them. And we've been so shit this season that, to be fair to Carlo, when could you really even bring on an Endrick if we're trying to win a game, right? Like, how do you, I just think, like, for example, like with Mbappe being offsides and that stinker that he had in the class, like, he should have been taken off. Like, the fact that he played 92 minutes, throw on Endrick. Endrick can't do any worse. That's all that I'm saying. But I rate Endrick, and I think that he'll come good for us. Perez low-key effed over Carlo as well. Facts, brother. Facts. Let me see. Como playing 15 minutes. I can't wait to see Nico Paz play. Yeah, maybe I'll check that out. For sure. Let's see. Yo, Carnage, Carlo Ancelotti stinks so much his socks divorced him. Nah, that's funny, bro. That's funny. But, yo, we'll end it here, man. We'll end it here. Big up to everybody that's in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications, right? We are going to do another live later today. We're going to be doing a rival talk, I think, with my guy Edwin, right? We'll be able to laugh at him and Arsenal. But yeah, this week's going to be busy. We got Champions League tomorrow, right? We're going to be doing a watch-along, Madrid versus Milan. Wednesday, we're going to be doing Arsenal versus Inter, right? And just a bunch of other live streams. So make sure that you guys have those post notifications turned on. And, yo, I'll catch you guys in a bit, people. Peace.